There's such a thing as knowing too much. You've been married to the president of the United States who knows everything about everything in the world. Sometimes you just...
During his first go round, it was very difficult, and I got myself into some bad places. You know, I was very, very depressed. I was overeating. I was over drinking. I was so depressed, Chris. I can't, it hurt my heart that America believed the lies about him. And then it broke my heart to be in a business that creates and sells those lies for profit. You know, it was very heavy, to tell you the truth.
Rosie O'Donnell says the quiet part out loud. In a business that creates and sells those lies for profit. That's heavy. Rosie O'Donnell talks to Chris Cuomo on Trump's first term. And resorting to drinking and alcohol, drugs is not the answer. Never is. And I've got some really, really great news, important information that I want to share with you guys. So stick around with me until the very end of this video, because just like yesterday's, it's going to end on a high note, on a bang. Okay. And thank you guys, because we picked up a lot of subscribers yesterday. We crossed over 233,000 and looking forward to getting the 234,000. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop your comments down below, and let's dive right in.
Like I say, these are my jokes.
Yeah.
Because she's the one that got me fired, you know.
Michelle?
Yeah, she's the one that called ABC and said I had to go.
Are you serious?
My
What?
racist tweet. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this public information?
I've said it.
Michelle Obama.
She said it. It's got to be true.
It is too. I'm going to fucking smack you
Okay,
right
good.
across your face.
Well, I applaud you on when you're right, but when
No,
you say things
I
like
am right.
Donald Trump is still the president and
He
there's not going to be an
is.
election,
I said
well,
he's
you
the
mustn't say-
commander-in-chief.
I
See,
respect
look
the
at
hell out
how
of you, but when you say
have to
things like that,
change everything.
No, I'm not
I
changing
didn't say-
anything.
I said commander-in-chief. Now listen. Bob Iger, who fired me, said his first phone call was to Valerie Jarrett to apologize to her, and that Michelle Obama also got on the phone with them, and that Obama called him afterward to thank him for firing me. So that's in the paper. I didn't make it
I
up.
believe you.
I didn't make it up.
That's something that sounds
It's
very
in
credible.
Iger's many interviews where he talked about it.
I think we're going to soon learn and discover so much more about Obama that will really add up and make a lot of sense, that I would imagine he thought or hoped would never be exposed. But a lot of folks hoped President Trump would never have a second term, have the ability, a power and authority and the cabinet and administration to do the things that he's doing now. Because you got to realize that Trump's first term was infected with terrible teammates, basically. You would think that they were teammates. Obviously, the recent raid on Bolton's home and many, many other breaking news stories that we've seen here since, really, it hasn't even been that long. I'm going to show you guys a little meme here in a second that reminds folks to pace themselves, because we are just getting started. Speaking of a network, a company, a business that manufactures, fabricates, create lies, thank you, and for profit. I guess the worst part about it is if that's the case and that's where you work, what does it mean when you lose your job and you get fired? Does that mean that you were telling the truth and they didn't like it? Or does that mean that the lies you were telling, no one was believing?
MSNBC, because I worked there, it did not. I mean, people think it set itself up to be the left-wing Fox. It never did. I've worked there since 2011, okay? And I promise you, it's not the left-wing Fox. And for two reasons. Number one, the entire day side is just like CNN. It's just straight ahead news. It is not ideological. And they would actually I had a Dayside show and I got in trouble for doing things they thought were too ideological because they were like, this is daytime. You're supposed to be just straight ahead news. At night, it is their editorial position that it is liberal. It is Rachel Maddow and is very liberal. And now that's moved up to 4 p.m., right? It's Nicole Walls, who's not liberal, by the way. She's just a sane, normal Republican. So you're sort of sane, normal Republican all the way to liberal. I don't think Ari Melber is particularly liberal. It just gets more and more liberal as you get later down the thing. And then, Stephanie Ruhle, she's a finance lady, but she's just normal and sane, right? So I don't see it as and the second reason is you're not allowed to lie. Like we couldn't get on there and just say,
because you could be sued. Yeah.
Well, not only that, we had standards and practices department. We'd be dragged into a standards and practices and legal meeting. We'd be fired. You can't lie. So Fox, they can say whatever they want. And the only time they've been busted for lying is because they got sued by Smartmatic and the other company, what is it called? The one who had the voting machine.
And then Dominion, yeah.
Joy Reid, oh man. The idea that anyone believes that, it's company policy, you're not allowed to lie, so no one does it. We have Democrats that are lying under oath. You think that your employee handbook at MSDNC, or what is it now, MSNOW, MS about to be canceled, do you think that really matters? What did George Costanza say? It's not a lie if you believe it. And this meme resonates. It hits hard. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can show a person the truth, but you can't make them think. And I myself, I think I fall into the category of what I've seen here with this post. It says Keanu Reeves once said, I'm at the stage in life where I stay out of arguments. Even if you say 1 + 1 = 5, you're right. Have fun. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and argue. I'm not gonna waste my time, energy, breath, capacity when I could be spending that with people that really matter. My family, friends, clients, folks that I mentor. Yeah. Now, speaking of employment, I feel like this next clip that I'm about to show you guys is some form of illegal equal employer breach. And the fact that this guy says this on camera is one thing. I think he's wearing a hat, like a Texas hat. That's another thing. But then we also have to realize that it's the internet. It's 2025. This guy could be making this entire story up just for engagement bait and more views on TikTok.
I rejected a Trump supporter as a potential hire after reviewing their social media. And before anyone comes for me, in Texas, political affiliation is not a protected class. I confirmed this with my legal counsel, and I'm well within my rights. This is really to serve as a PSA to other businesses. Take a stand. Do what you can. Refuse to hire them if it's legal where you are. Refuse them service if you can, and if you're able to. Whatever it takes to say that we're not supporting hate. We will not normalize oppression. They want to refuse to bake cakes for us.
Hang on. This should be a public service announcement for the working class looking to gain employment. Now, look, I am not telling anyone to do anything, but if you really need a job and your social media can prevent you from getting a job, then you probably should take that into consideration. However, this guy sits here and says that they don't support hate. Will you please explain to me what it is exactly that he's doing by rejecting an employment application because of someone's social media account and them being a Trump supporter? I'm sorry, but that sounds an awful lot like hate.
They don't want us in their houses of worship. We have to at some point say, this is our line. you've overstepped it, and now you're going to feel what we have to feel. I refuse to hire and employ someone that is outwardly rooting for my oppression. It makes no sense. You're not going to benefit from my successes and my hard work when you hate me, when you want bad for me. I built an incredible business. I'm financially and professionally successful, but I don't care what's happening in our country against immigrants, against LGBTQ plus people like me, against people of color.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought he had a little bit of zest to his voice. I thought he was I thought he was a little light in the loafers there, if you know what I mean. He just confirmed.
Women, children, veterans. I won't be silent. The homeless community. I won't be silent. I would give up every success, every penny that I've earned before I stand by and watch oppression win. I can't. I won't.
So to fight oppression, you have to create more oppression. Got it.
And I won't be intimidated into compliance. It just, my values, my beliefs are too strong. So I have more to lose than what a lot of businesses do. Big businesses, Target, et cetera, that like to come out during Pride Month. They could come out and take a stand. They're not, but I'm willing to risk it. And so I hope others do. And it's for the fight for my country, for the fight for my rights, for everyone else's rights. And I hope others can join, because it's not a joke. What's going on is not a joke. And if we're not careful, we will not have our country and the freedoms and the rights that we are afforded. So I hope that we can all do more.
If anyone can find out who this guy is and what business he owns or runs, I would love to have that information. Now, I think that his business is going to ultimately be unsuccessful and fail. And it has nothing to do with this particular occurrence, but for the fact that he's taking it very personally, and business should not be personal, to the point of which sitting in his kitchen or wherever and airing out his grievances, this is like one step away from crying in the front seat of his car like a little girl. And it's about business. And if I was an employee of that business, I would seriously wonder and question the logic and mindset and tenacity of leadership, and ultimately the future of your employment, your income, your paycheck.
Liberal white women ruin everything. What do you mean they got rid of Cracker Barrel? What do you mean the little pappy sitting out front isn't sitting on his rocking chair? What do you mean they got rid of all the little trinkets inside? This is a store that was meant for the South, okay? This is a store that is meant for the homegrown, home cooking meals. And you guys ruined it. It is always the fucking liberal white women. Have you ever realized that? Any CEO or any position that is taken over, like a CEO position that has been taken over by a liberal white woman, immediately fails. It's like, it's the true saying, go woke, go broke. What the fuck, Cracker Barrel? Okay, people don't go to Cracker Barrel to like feel good about DEI. Okay, why you gotta change everything? It's like you millennialized it.
We go to Cracker Barrel for one thing and one thing only: Mama's French toast.
And I love my millennial gray in my household. I love my crisp, my clean, like my straight corners in my house. I like everything to feel like it's like a hospital setting. I want to feel crispy clean, because when we grew up in clutter. That's what the millennials did. And I know Gen Z hates it, but that's exactly why we do it, okay? We grew up around clutter. We don't like clutter. But there's something about old Cracker Barrel with the clutter everywhere when you walk in, and there was the store, and then they had all the shit on the walls, and then you were getting some good home fucking grits that you were just like, man, this brings me back to my childhood, going here with my grandparents, eating around. And it wasn't just the whiteys, okay?
Yo, Mama's French toast, scrambled eggs with Kobe Jack cheese, some crispy bacon. And if you go in there in the wintertime and that fireplace is on, man, oh man, boy. And back when I used to actually drink anything besides water and coffee, sweet tea. Come on now. Can I get a like? Can I get a like for that? Am I alone here?
Okay. Okay? There were every different type of person from different backgrounds all enjoyed fucking Cracker Barrel. And a liberal white woman came in and fucking destroyed it. And now she's trying to gaslight everybody to make you believe that people love it. Did you see the fucking interview where she was like, oh my God, we received such great feedback. I'm getting called from all these stores saying, oh, can we be now modernized? No, you dumb motherfucker. Put it back. You look like the new McDonald's. You know how when McDonald's went from being like a fun place to then now it's all like sterilized? Yeah, it looks like a fucking sterilized mental institution. I don't know. I'm so done. I really hate fucking liberal white women. You ruined fucking everything.
So again, the woman who's saying that the feedback is tremendous and everybody really likes this change at Cracker Barrel is she too questionable. This should be about business, and she's making it personal. And anyone who works at Cracker Barrel should really pay attention, because this is going to be the future, or ultimately your future in some way, shape, or form. But without customers, without sales, without patrons, without interest of frequenting your establishment, then you're done. You're wrecked. You're ruined. And I don't even know, like, some people, maybe people are trolling her. Maybe they're like, oh, can you do it to our store too? Can you fuck up our store too?
And boosting Trump back in 2016. But I also think there are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda. And whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrence, because
I'm an optimistic person. I'm not hysterical. I laugh when people say, oh, you've got Trump derangement syndrome. I think if you're a reasonable person, you should have Trump derangement syndrome. Right. And by the way, I think he has derangement syndrome about us, too. The fact of the matter is, this is a dangerous person. This is a stupid person. And that's a bad combination.
All right, guys, let's take a break here for just 1 second, because I think it's important that we reset from time to time and not let all of this consume us. So, how are you? Let me know in the comments. Drop a comment. Just let me know how you're doing. And for those of you who have called Chapter and left comments, I really do appreciate it, because this derangement syndrome, whatever side it falls on, isn't really actually helping. And I think that what we should be focused on is what is actually helping. And it's funny because Sandy Hayes, she says here, you're becoming red hot. Been watching you grow. You are changing the same old style as other creators. And that's a good thing. And advertising for Chapter is a plus, way I see it. And I would agree, because I feel like we are in good company with Chapter. And I think Chapter just said that Charlie Kirk is coming on board as well. So if you watch Chapter, if you watch Charlie Kirk, then you may see Chapter there. If you watch Dave Ramsey, you'll see Chapter there. If you watch Bill O'Reilly, you'll see Chapter there. If you watch Glenn Beck, you'll see Chapter there. And there's a few others. I can't remember them all. If you watch my brother's channel, you'll see Chapter over there. Linda Erickson, she says that Chapter saved her over $1,000, and they are good people. So I just wanted you guys to know that Chapter is there. They're great people, very nice, very friendly. We had an opportunity to sit down and meet with them, and they are solely focused on helping seniors save money and get healthcare coverage that suits their needs as best as they can possibly do, searching thousands of plans across the country. They are a resource. They not only want you to call them now, they not only want you to call them during the open and annual enrollment periods and any life changes that would qualify you for Medicare changes outside of enrollment periods, but they want you to call them every year, because every year the plans can change. So it's not a set it and forget it. And I've got a pre-recorded clip that I'm going to share with you guys, and I'm going to roll that right now. So check it out. And if you are interested in saving money, specifically on your Medicare, then make sure you give our friends at Chapter a call. And I want you guys to really, really pay attention here, because it's come to my attention that most seniors are not on the best Medicare plan. They're either overpaying for the same coverage they could get elsewhere, or they don't have the coverage they need in an emergency. Chapter can review your options in under 20 minutes. It's fast, it's simple, it's easy, and it's free. If you're already on the best possible plan, they'll tell you they're unbiased and they're purely here to help folks, seniors, save money on healthcare, on average $1,100. And if you're not on the right plan, they'll help you switch, even if it's to a plan that pays them nothing. Again, unbiased, folks. This is unique and unlike any other Medicare provider out there. And this is exactly why we love Chapter so much, because they're literally just trying to help people. Chapter works for you, not big insurance or the government. And there's no pressure, just honest, free advice from professionals who know Medicare inside and out. Hillary Clinton says people spreading misinformation online should be sent to prison. She may be eating her words. Too bad the internet is forever, and you can't necessarily just undo some of the things that you've done, Hillary. Not that easy, not that simple. This post here is actually pretty interesting. The liberal Chicago YouTuber deleted her entire X account. And this post is from Jill Simonillo. Dear at Real Donald Trump, I've been carjacked in Chicago with my arm broken. I still don't want you or your troops here. TIA BTW, by the way, there are no red hats here. And something went wrong. I don't know. I think something went right.
What Donald Trump proved that it's possible to end black on black crime. He proved that, right? In DC, his troops, no murders for the entire weekend. That is insane. And to think that the left would protest against that, to think that the left would say, oh my God, it is a bad thing that black people are now stop killing each other. And the reason why that is a bad thing for them is because that is a core of liberalism, right? That is part of what makes them victims. So if you take away each sort of victim mentality peg or pillar, that's one less person that's going to have a victim mentality. So that's one less person that'll be a leftist. That'll be a woke libtard, right? So they are freaking out. But fuck them. What's crazy is the fact that he could actually fix that. And with police, who would have thought? That's why I always say every hood should have one prison in it.
Here in the heart of Washington, D.C., I'm hitting the streets to talk directly to the people who actually live here, the ones who deal with the city's crime and chaos every single day. Do you feel like President Trump's initiative to send in more police could be helpful for D.C. residents that don't live in safe areas?
Yes, I do. And I'm very appreciative of what Trump is doing. And I think everything that he's doing is helping D.C. as well as America.
At this point in my life, I think I'd rather move to another state.
How come?
Well, I've been shot 4 times, attacked so many times. I'm tired of it.
Just quick show of hands. If you were shot 4 times in your neighborhood, would you stay there? Or would you want to move away? Just asking for a friend.
You were shot 4 times?
Shot 4 times in my life, yeah.
So it was four separate times?
Since I moved to D.C.
Since you moved to D.C., you were shot 4 times?
Yeah.
Residents expressed frustration with wealthy liberals, progressive protesters, and Democrat politicians that continue to say that Washington, D.C. is safe.
They don't have to deal with the crime in the other areas. They have better stores, better protection, police protection. This area right here, around here by Hecker Jamal, I wouldn't want my grandchildren to walk around here. They live in this area, not far.
So what's your message to President Trump if he sees this?
I love you and keep up the good work, and thank you for all of what you're doing. God bless you.
I just want the police to do what they can for our country, for our city of DC. So none of us young people don't have to live out the rest of our lives robbing and killing or God knows what, or end up in jail, dead, or drunk, or becoming a drunk at the liquor store or loitering.
The youth in DC need more governing. They need more policing, more programs. Put programs back in place.
They need consequences. Without consequences, they're going to continue to, it's almost like they're rewarded for criminal activity and terrible behavior. I saw one as a teenager. He just got sentenced for murder, and he's crying in the courtroom because he thought he was just going to get all scot-free because he's a teenager.
Support the charges. Consider relevant charges being ordered held without bond.
This is the moment a 16-year-old broke down in court after being denied bond for the murder of another teen. Sean Simpson is being charged under a new law that allows 16 and 17-year-olds to be charged as adults. He's accused of fatally shooting 16-year-old Zaquavius Dawkins, who was running errands for his mother when he was hit 3 times in the back. Simpson also tried to end the life of the victim's friend who was injured during the attack. The victim's grandmother said she knows Simpson and that he had harassed and threatened her grandson in school before. Simpson was arrested and charged when police linked him to the crime in court. He broke down when he found out he was being denied bond and being charged as an adult. His charges are currently first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder. This case is very controversial due to the age of Simpson, but do you think he should be charged as an adult, or should he get a lesser sentence due to his young age? Let me know your thoughts down below.
Look, Carmelo Anthony, that's not how this works, okay? And I think I even saw where President Trump was out and about on the streets with the police force in DC the other night. And, this is change, okay? This isn't talking about change. This is actually making change. And, the Democrats had plenty of time to do it, and they didn't. And now Trump's literally doing it, getting it done. And it's like, it's eye-opening. It's like, wait, so this is actually possible. Because for the longest, people were saying that this wasn't possible, or at the very least, they were lying to us and telling us that the cities were safe with fake reports and fake numbers. All the while, people are being shot 4 times, in their lifetime so far living in DC.
Y'all keep talking about the youth. Where they going at? They don't got no rec centers. They don't got no playgrounds. They don't got nothing. They don't even got boxing teams no more, or football
I know,
teams.
they got boxing is the answer. I used to be a boxer. I was a 2-time Golden Gloves champion. They don't have a boxing gym here? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm saying they got them, but it's not like it was when we was coming up.
Wait, when they had mentors?
Yeah, they don't have nothing out here for youth, period.
I did recently hear about the woman being thrown in the trash can down the street, like a few months ago, and that was very concerning, especially because her age, she was a little bit older.
I got God. I got Jesus. He's my protector.
Do you think women are safe, single women?
Yes, if they have Jesus, that's all they need. Jesus is the way.
Well, get a lot of people off the streets, yeah, that'd be a good idea. There's a homeless problem, yeah.
We have to be protected. Other countries are protected. Why we can't be protected? And the cities, people has gone crazy. Just let a man take over. Let Trump take over.
Okay,
yes.
So you're for federalizing DC because you think that it will help the people here be more safe?
Yes, 100%.
Reporting for Lindell TV in Washington, D.C., I'm Kara Castronova.
I don't know. Looking down on middle America has kind of been a tradition in the movie business maybe for a long time. I don't think those people out there in between here and the East Coast are necessarily just because they're in Donald Trump's camp. I mean, you're talking about them not being very smart if they're going to get in that camp as far as I'm concerned. I think we're going out of our way on this show to say the opposite about these people.
Well, yeah, again, lies for profit, and the cast of characters there, well, kind of speaks for themselves. Look, folks, we are drawing to a close here, nearing the end. And this is pretty much where I leave you here with this one here from the seemingly more than likely outgoing mayor of Miami-Dade County, now requesting for Alligator Alcatraz to be shut down.
I'm here at Alligator Alcatraz, and we are uplifting the courageous decision of Judge Williams from yesterday that orders the state and the federal government to bring no new detainees and to shut it down within 60 days. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to the judge for being so diligent, recognizing the threats to our beautiful natural environment. I'm so grateful to the Miccosukee tribe who've always fought for this area. And I'm grateful to all of the advocates and activists who've called attention to these issues, not only to the environment, but to the humanity and the lack of fair treatment, lack of access to counsel, and the deplorable conditions for people inside this facility. So thank you everyone for your advocacy, and let us hope and pray that this decision continues to move forward.
See, that's that woke mind virus there that would rather, as a mayor, would rather see criminals treated better than law-abiding legal citizens. Not sure how that gets you reelected. Not sure how that gets you reelected in Florida, but hey, what do I know? I'll tell you what I do know. Scott Presler just packed the GOP office in Milwaukee with patriots who are fired up. Scott Presler is an absolute nonstop machine. We have to win Wisconsin. Vote for Brad. Scott Presler, the persistence. My name is Scott Presler. He says, I started off as a dog walker. Then I organized a trash cleanup in Baltimore. Now I founded the organization at Early Vote Action, and my personal mission is to help flip Pennsylvania. I'm dedicating my life to this cause. Game on. And he's just one that I can mention confidently, as I'm about to show you guys. Pennsylvania, Florida, North Carolina, Nevada, big shift, big swing to Republican. Like, this is huge, folks. And these aren't lies created and fabricated for profit. Joy Reid, Hillary Clinton, I can't remember who else we were talking about earlier, but you guys know, right? And here's that meme that I was telling you about. And it's been 6 months and the left is imploding. I can't wait for the next 3.5 years, Graham Banks Cole says. And we have Trump here crying Democrats should pace themselves. I haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet.
New analysis showing Democrats are losing millions of registered voters across our country, while Republicans have a net gain of 4.5 million in the last 5 years. You can see the trend across the country. These are the key battleground states and counties that we watch every election. All of them show a loss for the Democrats. Here to discuss is former counselor to President Trump and Fox News contributor Kellyanne Conway. Good morning.
Good morning, Ainsley.
Good
Wow,
morning.
I think 2020 is going to go down as the decade where the Democrats disappeared. The party is in shambles. Think about it. A year ago, for 15 weeks, they spent $1.5 billion only to lose the popular vote presidentially for the first time in 20 years, all 7 swing states. Now they have a money disadvantage with the Democrats. The RNC has 5.5 times more cash on hand than the DNC. The Democrats have lost 2 million net voters everywhere across the country just in the last few years. And Ainsley, I think the most devastating part of all these reports is that Republicans under President Trump are gaining all the new voters. In 2018, 63% of all newly registered voters that year registered Democrat. That's down to 48% in 2024 for Democrats, where Republicans have an outright majority. I think from the original sin of defund the police to Joe Biden governing like Bernie Sanders for 4 years, and then of course now Donald Trump's ability to grab opportunities, cultural zeitgeist, and voters to call themselves Republican is remarkable. 4 quick statistics. From 2012, which was Obama coalition, to 2024, which became Trump country, 42% of black men moved from Obama to Trump.